Okay, this will be my last time explaining this. Look. Nothing in my mouth. My gums bleed. I just have really sensitive gums. This is not good though.
That's not normal. Well, it is normal sometimes. I mean, I see a ton of people with bleeding gums, but why is hers different? Well, you see, normally when someone has bleeding gums, it's because they have gingivitis. They're not brushing, they're not flossing, plaque and gunk get up in there and start to irritate the gum tissue. Then whenever you go to brush or floss, it starts to bleed in that area because you're actually aggravating and removing all the nastiness that's in your teeth. Now, normally from there, we would tell you just to keep brushing, and then eventually your gums would tighten up, the inflammation would go away, and voila, your gums will stop bleeding. But in this case, this is not normal. A couple things could be happening here. One, she could be using one of those blood capsule pills, and she could just have it up here in the roof of her mouth, and she was lying to all of us just for views. Two, if that's not the case, that's not good. It could be a bunch of different things. It could be she's very anemic. It could be she has hemophilia, which means that you bleed really easy if you're cut or scratched. And probably the worst one of all is it could be something like leukemia. Now, she said she went to a dentist and got it checked out, and they said she was in the clear on there, so hopefully they're sending her to the right people to have a look at. But trust me, if you're bleeding this much just by sucking on your gums a little bit, you need to go to a medical doctor and go get some help.
Dirty dancing, now the yelling gravy slaves eat.
Why is my man ruining that dude's tooth? Now, for real though, he just went in there and cracked that sucker right in half. Well, fun fact, he's actually supposed to do this. You see, that's not a real tooth at all. That's actually a dental crown. And if you didn't know, crowns are made up of normally porcelain or some type of material outside, and they're fused to metal. And that metal stuff you see is actually metal on the inside. It's the inside casing of a crown. And if you didn't know, we put those on there pretty good because you know they're not supposed to just come out while you're eating, so they're stuck on there pretty well. And so if a crown breaks, or we got to remove it, or we got to do whatever, we can't just like rip the tooth off. So we actually have to cut down the middle, creating a slit, and then you go in there with something and you actually pry the metal apart, and that allows us to remove the crown. Now from here, more than likely they're going to have to remake a crown, or maybe there was some decay in there they got out, but then what they'll do from there is they'll take a new impression with this goopy stuff. It's like orange and blue, and then from there they'll make that new impression, they'll make the new crown, and then they'll seat the new crown back on.
Doesn't make it look any less painful though.
Y'all about to watch me do my own composite veneers. Here's my before. I closed my gap, y'all. Oh my God. Period. Now I gotta put composite on the rest of my teeth. I know y'all can notice the ones that's done. So all of these are done. And I closed my gap. And then I still have to do this side. Period.
Your own veneers?
Well, at least it is better than going to Turkey and getting all your teeth shaved off. And these comments got me rolling. Yeah, I'm on the phone with the cops right now. Y'all do anything but let the people that got a degree do these type of procedures. Girl, why would you go in there playing in your mouth? But anyways, obviously I don't have to tell you, do not do your own composite veneers. There's so many things that could go wrong in this process. And two, where did she get a dental drill from? And she's wearing scrubs, which makes me think maybe she's a dental tech or she's in an office or something. But regardless, a couple things she did terribly wrong here. One, she did etch them with some little blue stuff, but she didn't add any primer. So I don't know how well it's gonna stick, but it will stick. Also, if she has any plaque or calculus or gunk or any cavities or anything on her teeth, she's basically locked those in. So now they have no way to be seen or even be fixed. So that cavity is just gonna grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger, eventually decaying your tooth. And the last fatal flaw that I saw was she had nothing blocking in between the teeth. You see, in real dentistry, we use these little plastic mylar strips that go between the teeth. So that way the composite doesn't stick. So she basically just barred all of her teeth together all the way across. There's no way to floss now because that gunk and composite will get between the teeth and it will connect with each other. And then there's no way you can clean it. What she should have done was use those plastic strips or at least floss in between the teeth before you light them. Listen, I understand the want of closing your gap, but that's as simple as just putting some braces on and just closing up a gap. You know how hard it is going to be if you have those issues to get the glue off of every single tooth of those composite veneers? That is going to cost you more than it would have cost you just to get braces. I'm not even going to talk about the color, but in the long term, I can't believe I gotta say this anymore. Don't do this.
I hope you won't miss them too much.
10 years. Now this is one of my biggest beefs with the grills and gold crowns, especially the ones that are nice like his, which are individual tooth grills. These are what we call permanent grills. These are actually bonded just like regular tooth bonding. They're like physically stuck to your tooth. They're not coming off. One, as you can see, they're excruciatingly hard to get off. Like you literally have to take this special metal tool and you have to rip up and really pow, pow, pow until that gold grill just pops right off. And sometimes the teeth break in the process. Two, you can see, unfortunately, most of the time these type of grills are not done by dental professionals. And so they're not sealed properly like an actual crown. And that means that food and gunk and stuff can just get up under the whole entire time you've got them on. That means you can get cavities, you can get decay. Basically, you can lose a lot of your teeth. If you are gonna get the permanent grills, work with your jeweler and an actual dentist to get the preparations right, to get everything perfect and sealed so you don't have any decay in the future. Found the girl who didn't wear their rubber bands. But for the I'm getting heavy Finding Nemo girl vibes here.
But seriously, Bentist, why does she have all these contraptions in her mouth?
Well, for real, more than likely, she just didn't wear her rubber bands. You see, what she has in there is called a Herbst appliance. It's actually a type of bar system that locks into place to shoot your lower jaw forward. So if you have a big overbite, it's to help fix a big overbite. Now, normally this can be done with, rubber band wear, but if you just absolutely don't want to wear it, or if it's super severe, then we can use something like this that locks into place, meaning you have instant rubber bands for life that you can't remove. Yeah, just wear your rubber bands. Also, the crazy part is that's not even the only thing that this chick has. She also has what we call tads. She has them in the root and up here. And so they're basically mini implants that screw into your bone. Now we can anchor off these little points and we can actually drag teeth up, down, in, and out. And it also looks like she's missing teeth. It looks like they pulled teeth. So this chick literally has gotten everything under the sun done to her. So if you're in braces, be thankful that you're not in these braces, because these are a nightmare. And also, I don't think I need to tell you a third time, wear your rubber band so you don't have to deal with this. Oh, the joy of pain in braces. Actually, there is no joy. The first 2 weeks are miserable. And I can tell by the comments that you guys agree. So I'll give you 3 tips to avoid braces pain that are gonna help you out tremendously. 1, this one should be obvious, but when you get your braces on for the first time, you're gonna be sore for the first 2 weeks. So take some Tylenol and take it regularly. Braces pain is not like a cut or hard pain. It's actually like a sore muscle pain. So that Tylenol will relieve a lot of that sore muscle pain. 2, the wires are activated by heat. And so if you get something cold in your mouth, you deactivate the wire. The teeth stop moving for about 20 to 30 minutes, giving you some pain relief. And 3, soft food. That soft food is going to cause less pressure on your teeth, making it hurt less. And something weirdly enough that fits both of those two is ice cream. It's soft and cold, so just tell your parents you want some ice cream. That means that pain is really only for the first week or two and maybe a day or two after you get your braces tightened, so you should be good after that. Okay, what? My man, the inside of your mouth is not a Home Depot. You can't just go around spraying paint in your mouth. I guess he was a little brain dead from the paint fumes. Speaking of teeth whitening though, did you know that teeth whitening toothpaste are really kind of just scams? Because they come in only 1 or 2 different ways. One, which is the real big scam, is the super abrasive type charcoal whitening ones that just rip off your enamel. At first this is fine and dandy because it wears away your stains, but then over time it'll wear away your enamel, and then the inner dentin, which is yellow, will shine through, and then your teeth are going to start to be super sensitive and really yellow. And the other type are the ones with hydrogen peroxide and stuff, which actually does work, but it's just on your teeth for so little that it will take months and months and months and months of time for it to even lighten up a few shades. That's why if you're gonna whiten your teeth, just go get the whitening strips from somewhere like 30 bucks. They work really well, just as good as any dental whitening does, and it'll be really nice and white, and you won't have brain damage.
I hit it fast, yeah, I hit it slow. Bye the morning, girl, I gotta go. Gotta get ready, tonight is my
Is it true that braces can make your face change? Yes, but we need to dive deeper. First off, people with big underbites or overbites do wear elastics with their rubber bands to change their jaw, but normally it's for the better, not worse. So what's going on here? Well, I dug into the comments and I found exactly what was going on. This girl said her face didn't feel as full anymore, and she said that she got 4 teeth removed. Now, back in the day, we used to remove teeth all the time, even if you had just a tiny bit of crowding. Problem is, we would only use a tiny bit of that toothpaste to fix your crowding, and the rest, we would have to pull all your teeth back, making your face look worse. Now, we still have to do this sometimes in severe cases, but now what we do is actually IPR, or polish between the teeth, only doing enough space to get rid of your crowding. Unfortunately, there's still some older orthodontists that do pull teeth on everything. That being said, personally, That's wrong. No, seriously, I get it. Braces hurt, but what you're doing is making it worse. See, braces use nickel titanium heat activated wires. See, you got crooked teeth, we put it all in wiggly biggly, and then the heat of your mouth tries to straighten that wire back out, straightening your teeth along with it. Which, unless you're taking cold showers, which I highly doubt you are, you're actually activating those wires, making them work harder. Working harder means more force on your teeth, aka more pain. What you should do is get some ice cold water, suck it up, and then swish it around, and that'll deactivate that wire for about 15 to 20 minutes, giving you some pain relief. Holy tonsil stones! And you guys had some interesting comments on this too. And so he said, we're really just oysters making pearls, huh? And the smell is the worst imaginable. It really is. But here's the deal. You're not supposed to be doing this to yourself. In fact, it can be really damaging to use these scrapey tools that you find, or Q-tips or your fingers, to scrape out tonsil stones out of your tonsil. The reason is, 1, it's not hygienic. 2, you're pushing that bacteria into your tonsils, sometimes causing stress. And lastly, you can damage yourself. That's exactly why we came up with the Something Nice water flosser with a special tonsil stone removal mode. It's actually a safe motor in here that allows the pressure to be really soft and gentle on your tonsils, and then we added in a special tip that is long enough to reach back there with a bigger hole for more laminar flow. AKA what that means is you can hygienically spray and flush out your tonsil stones without hurting yourself. The video that you saw is actually probably in a dental office where they're actually sedated, so it's not going to hurt them, and then they're numbed up, and then they go in there with their sterile utensils to clean them out. A lot of the times from there, they cauterize the holes to make sure they seal them so you can't get any more tonsil stones in. But if you don't want to have your tonsils removed and your tonsil crypts fused together, then your best bet is to clean them hygienically and safe with the only thing on the market that can do it, and that's our Something Nice water flosser. PSA, do not try this with other water flossers. They only have high-powered modes no matter how much you dial them down or up, and they will damage and hurt your tonsils. Trust me, I tried them all. That's literally why I came up with this device. Not only that, but it's got capacitive touch, it's got a great high-pressure mode for flossing, it's got a great cup system, even an Apple Watch-style charger, making it the best water flosser in the world. Actually a really good job. This is what we call a bridge and composite veneers. The bridge that you saw actually covered in this little missing tooth here by putting it on either side of the tooth and then kind of gluing it up in there. And then the composite veneers basically made the shape of the other teeth so much better for this person. You know, a lot of the time as an orthodontist, if you have good shaped teeth, I would prefer to rather do braces and then just whiten. But if you don't have the shape of the teeth that you want like this person did, or if you have missing teeth, there's not much I can do for you. The one thing that I will note is I don't normally suggest people getting bridges are the thing that replaced this missing tooth here. And that's because the tooth that's missing is not stimulating the bone. And if you don't have a root in that bone area, that bone will actually dissolve and then cause the other teeth to end up losing bone and losing those over time as well. The only way around this is to get an implant, which is the screwed into the bone, which then will actually stimulate it so you will never lose that bone, and it will replace the tooth at the same time. Unfortunately, this is a more costly option, which is more than likely why this person opted for the bridge. Another problem with the bridge is that you have to damage a tooth on either side to be able to get that bridge to fit. But regardless, this work turned out awesome. For real though, we know we've been blinging out retainers for a while. In fact, I was the very first person to ever bling out a retainer, as you can see here. This is a 2-year-old retainer. This is kind of disgusting. Sure does look shiny though. Paul Wall, better be watching out for me. But for real though, what's going on here? Can I do this? Is this safe? Is it gonna break my retainer? What's going on? Well, in fact, most of you guys are not gonna have retainers like this. This is what we call a Holly retainer. It's an old school retainer that used metal and acrylic to really hold things in. Nowadays, we do have clear retainers more similar to this that protect the full coverage of the tooth and protect from wear of your teeth as well. But as you can see here, it is still available to be bedazzled if you said want to. But there is a few things that you probably want to know first. One, to get that stuff on there, you're gonna have to use some type of glue, super glue, things like that. And honestly, I don't know the long-term effects of having that glue leak into your mouth over time. It could be very unhealthy. These are obviously for show. I don't sleep in these, I don't wear these. I mean, it's like, I did it for a fun retainer series back in the day. And even look, just touching it here, I've already had like 2 or 3 of these beads fall off. So more than likely, there's gonna be some that fall off. They're gonna fall down your throat, you're gonna swallow them. So probably another reason to maybe not do that. Just know if you do have a clear retainer like this, if you do decide to do it and they fall off and it gets nasty, you pretty much ruin the outside of the retainer and you're stuck with it for life. And it'll probably cost you a lot to make a new one, so don't make your parents mad. So overall, you can do it, but I don't recommend it. I would rather you just, wear your retainers the way they're supposed to and keep your teeth straight.
Like, I want you so bad, bro.
My man is about to go from 0 to hero after these braces get done. The people in the comments agree. They said, just give it a couple years. And someone else said, so grateful my teeth are straight now that I've had braces. And trust me, I see it all the time. Now for real though, you're seeing all these supermodels, these actors, the cool people in your school that have those perfect smiles. They once probably looked like this guy. You'd be surprised how many people with janky teeth come in when they're younger. We fix it and then everybody forgets about it. Another crazy thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is all these famous, popular, cool people, they got insecurities just like you. And this guy, a good looking dude, he's probably gonna go through a couple years of braces, have that perfect Hollywood smile, and his confidence is going to go sky high. In fact, it's kind of cool to be an orthodontist because I get to give you a gift of straight teeth for the rest of your life. And that's something that actually changes you as a person a lot. I've literally seen some of the shyest kids come in that do not want anything to do with anybody. And then 2 years later, they've grown like a foot. They got straight teeth now. They're confident. And they're just like, it's crazy to see that transformation. So don't get too down on yourself, my guy. You're going to be just fine. A couple years of braces, you're on the right track. And you're going to be looking awesome in about a year or so.